Name's Anthony Gordmans. I served for 5.5 years in the Navy, mainly minesweepers. Yeah, the minesweepers, what we do, we just drag line and pull the mines up, and then when they pop up, we shoot at the feelers so they explode. Not very often, once in a while we get them, but that's about it. We just cruise back and forth, you know. That's after World War II. Very good. And different kind of mines. It's regular mines with the feelers, and you have magnetic mines that are, you know, that are underwater, of course, different depths. So when a boat passes, a steel boat passes by on the magnetic mines, you have a current going by, and that's why they call them magnetic mines, and they explode when a boat, you know, crosses them.
Name is Robert Parnell. 9 years U.S. Navy, 11.5 years Air Force. For a total of 20.5 years. No, I'm 81. I went in the Navy in 1948, February 7th. 7 days after my 17th birthday.
Awesome.
And I don't want to say too much more. I might get in trouble.
Checking in today and looking at the things.
You enjoying
A little
it?
story here and there, and found my model airplane.
We're going to do is take one
Along
shot.
okay, I think.
So we know
Good.
An old geezer.
who we are when we go back to take another shot.
Well, 91 last February. Really happy about it. I found my co-pilot's widow.
Great.
She contacted me. Her husband filled her in on a lot of things I didn't even know. When I got shot down, it didn't happen exactly the way I thought it did. I bailed out, so after I bailed out, I thought the pilot and co-pilot got out, but they didn't. After I was hit, my airplane started going down, and as it went down, the South African bomber that was accompanying us, he turned also, and he ended up right under our downed airplane. As it was going down, he flipped it over accidentally, and that's how the pilot and the co-pilot got out then. So that's the only reason they got out. So they got down okay, and then as they got captured by the Germans, General Rommel saw it all, and he went and talked to them. And he looked at the co-pilot, and they saw something around his neck. And he asked him what that was. In fact, he took it off of him. He said, "That's a throat mic. It's used for communication for the throat, a mic, instead of holding one that was picking up vibrations from the throat." So he'd never seen anything like that. He wanted to know what it was all about.
Wow.
And then he made them, the pilot and the co-pilot, to go back to the wreckage on the ground and bury the dead that were in it yet. And he said that was a compliment to them to be able to do that.
Right.
So at this point, as far as we know, they're still there, but they've never found.
Wow.
Up to this point, the uncle of the one who was killed, he's looking into it, and he wants to go to Egypt to find, see if he can still find him. So that's the story up to date. Well, it's 14 months in Italy. The Germans captured me, but they turned me over to the Italians.
Wow.
Because of, the Italians weren't fighting much at that time. And the war about turned around at that point. In fact, Rommel gave us credit as we bombed them with their trucks and tanks on the front lines that turned the thing around, and he had to retreat. He said that in his book. That's what happened. So we felt like we were a turning point for the war in Egypt. But grace of God.
Oh, for sure.
Well, yeah, every day I wake up and say, "Lord, you're going to guide me. The only way I'm going to get through
Good for you. Mommy?
John Henry, the steel driving man. I like Nikon's better.
Thank you.
I own a Nikon. I own a Rolleiflex 4x5 speed graphic, Linhof, Deardor 5x7 view camera, Ansco 5x7 view camera. Ag for pre-war, 8x10 camera with reducing backs and stuff. Studio equipment and stuff, because I sold the studio, but not all the equipment went with it. He got what he needed. Had to keep it running. I have a photo darkroom at my home. Big professional darkroom.
After 7 years de fly, I come to the United States, I go to Germany, I enjoy the Air Force in the United States. I fly F-16, F-18, y later teach a lot of pilot to fly MiG-29 target.
Oh,
Yes, I can remember. Yes. Esa es my story. It's long, but the film is finished, it's not finished. I only, in this year, in the Russians, 17 years old. Later 7 years more, later come in la United.
well, thank you very much. Appreciate you sharing that with us.
I also, my degrees in education happened in the Havana University in Cuba. I finished my degree in Ciencias y Letras. This is my base para fly aeroplane. La base para fly.
Tell your little story and you can.
César Joubert en Bordeaux. Yo soy francés.
Okay, I was in the service in 1959 to 1963. I originally was in the 101st Airborne Division, Screaming Eagles, and had probably 39 jumps. And the interesting thing is I'm afraid of heights, but I still did them, but I didn't tell anybody. Then an opening came up for a new group called Special Forces that President Kennedy wanted to start. So I volunteered for it and went to North Carolina. I had no idea what it was. And you had to be a paratrooper qualified to even go to the school. You had to maintain a 95 average through 29 schools. There were 384 in the first class, all paratroopers. After a 29-week course, there were only 38 graduated. And I was on a demonstrating team for President Kennedy when he came to North Carolina. Met him personally, got the first Green Beret from him, and then was shipped out overseas to Okinawa, where I went to Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and Red China. And I was a radio operator on an A-team, a 12-man A-team. So we spent 3 months in the jungle there in each of the countries. And then I decided to get out of the service in 1963. Out of a Marine helicopter with the Marines. And this is pictures I took in Bangkok, Thailand. And here I'm teaching a class, and I made the signs and everything, and now I was fluent in the language and everything. 57 Recoilless rifle, I was teaching them how to fire. That's why I'm almost deaf. And I started building the bridge. It was about 200 feet up. And here I completed the bridge.
Wow.
Teaching demolitions. This is downtown Vientiane, Laos, capital city. Some of the money from there. In Laos. I wasn't there, according to the government.
Of course not.
No. Here's where we're flying over to. This is Manila when we're flying over to Laos. We were refueling there. Here's the captain's quarters for 6 months. That's my quarters for 6 months. And I was a radio operator, and that's Callahan, my other radio.
Jerry McGinley. Okay, the first photo is from the National Guard. It was July of 1948.
Okay.
We were at camp in Camp Ellison, Wisconsin.
Okay.
We were an engineer company, and they sent us out there, and we built a bridge for the camp there. All right. This is my photo. It was taken in boot camp. I was 17 years old, 1951.
That's a great photo.
Yeah. And this is the squadron I was in. It was VF-33. The background aircraft is a jet F-9F Cougar. And we were in Guantanamo Bay because we just had gotten gotten rid of the Corsairs and brought in the jets. And we were practicing at the airfield down in Guantanamo Bay.
So starting, we started off.
This is taken in Naples, Italy, and I was stationed there at Vazeron 77 for 2 years, and we used to ride motorcycles there. And this is a friend of mine. We're sitting out in front of one of the little bars there in Italy. The USS Midway. It's now a museum in San Diego, California. I was stationed. I was on this ship for about 3 months when we were in the Mediterranean. No, we were in the Caribbean. All right, off of Haiti and Cuba. All right, this is myself and my daughter having a picture taken in front of the flag.
Yes, I'm Sergeant Ian Vaquero, 3rd Infantry Division, 3rd ID, 3rd Brigade, Rocket Arm, Fort Benning, Georgia. These are some front pages that I've made from when I came back from Iraq. This is Memorial Day 2010 front page. Did a story on me. I have to catch a thief. And it was mentioned in the article, and as a pistol packing Iraq war veteran. Some money that I brought back from Iraq. Some propaganda. This was a book, apparently of some sort of, from what I can see, because it's in Arabic, of bomb making of some sort. Basically IEDs, the stuff that we're using against us soldiers. How to booby trap an iron, how to booby trap some pots and pans, a box there, where to set mines at. I mean, it's just I think a wealth of information and for us soldiers to have stuff like this. This is a canteen that looked like it was rigged for us to pick it up and blow up. This is a Reese's Pieces bar, rigged, made to explode. I mean, using household items and stuff that you just didn't think could be made into a bomb. I mean, it's basically in this book, but it's all in Arabic. And I found this in one of the houses that we went into. And this, like you can see, is a mine. A mine, how to set a proper mine. And the only thing that I see that's in English is the math. As you can see, more diagram, picture, I mean, down to the detail of how to set it. I wish I could have somebody really translate it, and I mean, like a watch. I mean, everything was a potential danger, as you can see in this book. They used everything in their imagination, and to hurt troops, or maybe this is something they wrote specifically for Americans, because this is, let me tell you, a lot of IED stuff in here. It's a record player, rigged to explode. I mean, boxes, mines, getting old munitions to explode, like the IEDs. Like I was saying about mine anti-persons, mine anti-tank, imitation tank. I mean, these guys were prepared for us, and I think that this book pretty much proves it. Booby-trapped mine, arming, naturalization cluster, everything you could think of, down to how to set it up in certain positions. These are all defensive setups that I got to see personally and got to see, firsthand. And